Hey guys, what's up? This is Emian Basis,
In the Metallica gear here.
and we're here to talk about a good classic Nickelodeon live action show from the 90s, and it's called Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now, Afraid of the Dark was an awesome show. It's almost like Goosebumps, but for Nickelodeon, basically. And Are You Afraid of the Dark is a great 90s Nickelodeon classic, and it took a new turn for Nickelodeon, for having horror stuff, so that's pretty cool to see. So, what's your opinion on how cool it was and everything, Metallica Guru?
Well, hold on. My views on it is actually, I know they added some good classic, scary kid stuff, which is still beyond, you know, it was less strict than what you would see today because with other channels, they're very strict about what like some kids should see and not should see. But there's only one episode that I remember, and that's with the Cinnamon Clown. And I really don't know much about it, but I do remember some specific scenes, but I can't really get into details with it. But however, though, I do remember with every intro that you had with "Are You Afraid of the Dark," it would always specify, like little clown doll, this little swing set in the campfire that they actually show up in the very beginning in every episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, because the kids get around and tell scary stories, which they call themselves the Midnight Society. I think, I'm not sure, but I think it's Midnight Society. Um, alright, so the reason why it got canceled was because the show was a Canadian import that Nickelodeon licensed from what is today Cookie Jar Entertainment, which basically has created Johnny Test and other great shows. So the deal for the show ran for 5 years, but got extended at least once until Nickelodeon dropped it in 1997 due to reclaimed ratings and a desire to revamp its Saturday night lineup. But what's funny is they kept it going until 2000. And forget the typical fanboy stuff, which is basically more information. They canceled every good show. It really doesn't apply to Nickelodeon stuff from Canada. Um, they were at the mercy of the original producers, and often the YTV network and Canadian public broadcaster CBC, which had a major hand in production funding and their license deals. And to this fact, they ran out of episodes to show when the original Canadian broadcasters canceled the show months or years earlier, and you got a more realistic explanation. So basically, they ran out of episodes, but honestly, half of them were American, half of them were Canadian, which is interesting because it went on to 2000, like I said. So, what's your opinion on that? Mitaku.
Well, I really don't have much to say, but I do kind of feel that it's a weird time back then that they cut it off, in which you don't have any more of these episodes. I mean, I do remember some episodes, but I can only be specifically remembering the Cinnamon Clown for some reason. But I'm thinking if they bring back at least bring in the old roots from the old past episodes, so that way you do have some sort of tangent that what goes on with the episodes. That way you at least have some roots showing, and if you have to put new actors and actresses in there, by all means you can, but at least keep the roots from the beginning tied into the new stuff.
Yeah, big time. Alright, so what are some possibilities of if the show came back, how would it keep going, or what's some ideas? Basically, what my perspective say is maybe they could, like, maybe bring back some of the old people for a reunion show and then kick it off with new kids, or the adults now that maybe, they pass it down to their kids, or it's the 2000s. I mean, they could revamp it, like basically better technology, 3D effects. Who knows? They could do stuff kind of like, it's like basically, okay, Goosebumps. R.L. Stein quit Goosebumps, I think early mid 2000s maybe, and then when the hub came around, they contacted him, and he's now doing R.L. Stein's The Haunting Hour. So now it's basically like Goosebumps, but it's an hour long, and it's better, because it's the 2010s era and stuff. So yeah, it's good and revamped, and it's like Goosebumps but better. It's the same guy, who created it, but just a different storyline. So maybe they could do something like that to Are You Afraid of the Dark? So yeah, that's my opinion. Mitaka Guru.
I really don't have much to say, but I do kind of do remember the couple of episodes, the Tale of the Chameleons and the Tale of the Apartment 214, that I can't really remember anymore. It just came back to me, though, is what I remember. But also, if you are also wondering if there's anything, you can go on YouTube and search for Are You Afraid of the Dark. They do actually have some episodes up and running on YouTube. So by all means, just search it up and you'll find it. But as for the perspectives of it, I do think maybe if they put in some new stuff, it might kind of kill off what's considered to be, a very good and once popular Are You Afraid of the Dark show or the TV series, because it's just like the same with the Twilight Zone, well, not the Twilight Zone, but Tales from the Dark Side, but in a more kids way. So that way you have a different way of not personifying, but a way of presenting this content to children who actually are in love with the horror genre. Basically, like Goosebumps to me, it has introduced me to the horror genre. Even though Are You Afraid of the Dark hasn't, it was more Goosebumps that did that for me. But I do have to say that Are You Afraid of the Dark still actually contains some good elements that which Goosebumps has.
Yes, big time. So yeah, just to sum it up, all I have to say is, Are You Afraid of the Dark is like a very classic Nickelodeon '90s TV series. It was great. It's almost like Goosebumps, but it's in the Nickelodeon era, and this is before Nickelodeon, shut its doors and said we're gonna go to preteens and make all this crap. So, in my opinion, they should bring it back and maybe revamp it and keep it somewhat original or whatever, and make it better. So that's all I have to say. Takaguru, sum it up.
That's really all I have to say.
That's all you have to say.
Yep.
Alright, guys, this is Emmy and Basis.
The Mitaka Guru here.
And we talked about or rant about Are You Afraid of the Dark? And we hope you all have a good day or night when you're watching this.
Alright.